Hi and welcome to the Trading Bell. Now we know very well this is the season of bells, from the holiday bells, of course, to the Trading Bell, which is still ongoing. I want to first of all start by appreciating you, our viewers, for always tuning into your favorite business show. That's the Trading Bell. And of course, we have had a season, an amazing time, of course, with our guests. And we wanted to show you a few highlights of some of the things that happened behind the scenes. Just take a look. I'm ready to start, guys. Count me down.
I'm ready. Count off. 3, 2, 1, start.
Bring me back. I was like ready to talk. I thought.
By the way, I respected the people who worked a lot.
They have a lot to do.
They have a lot to do.
I'm very sure if I get it wrong, I can do it over and over.
Don't worry. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Still straight to the camera, okay? Ready? Ready? I go? Happy holidays and welcome to the Trading Bell. Now, today we want to talk about matters health. To stay healthy, I don't know what to say.
Oh.
The bell is ringing, so right?
The bell.
Yeah, at the exchange.
Yes. The bell is.
Interesting, right? Now, of course, one other thing that we do is to get into the lives of our guests. And sometimes we share this kind of cards and you will see them flipping them up. And they have personal questions, for example, oh, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received and who gave it to you? Those kind of questions where we get to humanize this particular guest that we have. So we have a series put together with some of the ones who answer some of these questions. Enjoy.
I am Dr. Joseph Koskei, Managing Director, Privatization Authority. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received and who gave it to you? I received this from my late mom, and the piece of advice is, my son, do the right thing all the time and be proud of doing the right thing regardless of the consequences of doing otherwise. If you could swap places with an employee in your company for a day, who would it be and why? I would swap places with a person who makes tea in our organization. And the reason is because this is somebody who touches the life of everybody in the office. And once you take that coffee or tea, it's what makes you vibrant throughout the day. So I love doing it. What is your favorite food? Mursik. In your opinion, what key factors contribute to the success of a Kenyan corporate leader? In my opinion, as a Kenyan corporate leader, it is very important that you appreciate that you are one among equals. You are a team leader, and you are supposed to provide leadership and direction and appreciate the value and the contribution of each and every member. Be a friend to colleagues. That is what it is to be a good corporate leader.
Hi, my name is Jerry Jomo. I'm the CEO of Jubilee Health Insurance. And I'm answering some questions on the Trading Bell. So my first question, what's the most outrageous rumor or misconception you've had about your company? Well, that will be, there are people who actually assume Jubilee is a political party. There's something to be said around that. So yes, but it is not. Jubilee is a company listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange and stock markets within the region, and we are a financial services group. If you were to write an autobiography, what would the title be? Well, I think the title would be Becoming. I think you're always becoming something. So when you're younger, you're always going on and on. So my title will probably be Becoming. I think it's a continuous journey of life. If you could swap places with an employee in your company for a day, who would it be and why? Okay, so I've done this. It will be call center. It will be our contact center. We are a health insurer, so the contact center is quite hot. It's where people are receiving calls when they're in hospital. So when I did this, it's quite a demanding period. What was interesting is when I was done, one of the staff asked me, so was it hard or was it easy? And I said it wasn't hard or easy. But you know what was most interesting about it is when I put my headset down at the end of the day, my job was done. You don't get to do that too much as a CEO. Yes, you carry your work home in your mind after work. So to probably be contact center, call center. If your company had a slogan or catchphrase, what would it be and why? As a group, we go by Live Free, but there's one of those we've been using for the year 2024 for our staff, just to make sure everyone is aligned and everyone is working together. And what it has been is that we are pushing limits, elevating service, where limits are left behind and excellence is redefined. So that's been what we've been going through this year. So maybe you should join us, pushing limits, elevating service, where limits are left behind and excellence is redefined. Means many things to different people, but it's been our call to action and our catchphrase this year. So let's see what we do for next year. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received and who gave it to you? I've received so many, so this is not a hard one, this a bit of a hard one, but the one that immediately comes to mind was at one time when I was working and there was so much noise around me. You know, typically corporate environments can be very challenging, and there was a lot going on around me, and one of my leaders called me and asked me, "And Jerry, do you know why horses wear blinders?" And I asked why, and he told me it's to keep them focused, because there'll be noise, there will be sideshows, there'll be people trying to do this and that, and there'll be people, you know, there'll be a lot going on, there'll be other horses on the side, and sometimes that noise is deliberate because it says you're actually getting somewhere. So you wear blinders so that you remain focused and you remain on your race and you put out the sideshows. So I put it out to you, Dr. Mutho Gangera. He said it to me probably 5 years ago, and it hasn't left me since. So every other time when I'm working, I always can tell when I need to remember to wear my blinders on, and it's been an invaluable piece of advice to me to date. So I'm passing it on to you. So I think those will be my 5 questions.
So my name is Martin Ochieng, Group Managing Director and CEO at Sasini PLC. I have a series of questions here that I'd like to answer. I'll read them and hopefully give the best answer that I can. The first one is, what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done outside of the business world? Climb Mount Kilimanjaro in 2002. I was young and stupid, and I think that if you gave me the chance to do that today, I'd probably think twice. But yeah, when I did it, it was fun, and I encourage those who would do it now. I see better equipment to do those kind of adventures today than I had, but yeah, that was scary. Number 2, what's your favorite way to unwind and relax after a long day at work? Wow, there's quite a bit in that question. I get home and cook. And as much as people don't believe this, I'm the one who cooks at home by choice. And so I find that as a very relaxing event. The family enjoy the meal that I prepare. And it's something that sometimes I plan, sometimes just happens. I cook what I find in the fridge. Number 3, if you could invite any 3 people, living or dead, to a dinner party with your executive team, who would you choose and why? I have to think about the last one, but the first 2 are very obvious to me. Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama. Why? Those are people I admire greatly. They've inspired me with their leadership style. I've been lucky to meet both of them, and in fact, Mandela more intimately than Obama. But from then I derived a lot of lessons in personal life, in way to lead, how to be strong, especially when saying no. And I think that those 2 have numerous examples for what leaders could be. The third person I think would be Richard Branson. And I think just because of the success of his business empire and what he does and continues to do, especially with innovation and new ways of looking at things, challenging the boundaries that people put in front of you. And yeah, those would be the 3 people that I would talk to. The last question is, what's your favorite book and how has it influenced your leadership style or mindset? I've read so many books, and to call out one is very difficult. A few of them sort of come to mind, but the one that really tops the list for me is a book called The Law of Attraction, The Basic Teachings of Abraham. by Jerry and Esther Hicks, and it talks about life and the strength we have in creating the situations that we face, whether we like those situations or not, and the essence of similar things being attracted to each other. And so once you understand that concept and how to live your life that way, you almost have full control of what your experiences are. A very interesting book I would recommend to anybody.
My name is Evans Kioi. I serve as the Chief Operating Officer at Vast Carbon. So how do you stay innovative and keep up with the rapidly changing business landscape? So I lean in a lot to my team members who are extremely innovative individuals, who are extremely smart, who always think outside the box, giving out-of-the-box solutions. And just by doing that, that innovation actually radiates towards me. So I make sure that I surround myself with people who have the mindset that is required to achieve innovative and out-of-the-box thinking. Second question is, if you could have a billboard with any message on it, what will it say and why? So the message would be, I can, I must, and I will. So that the reason why that is usually my go-to motto is because it sharpens your mindset to believe that any challenge that comes your way can be surmounted. It sharpens your mindset to believe that anything that you put your mind to it will be achieved, and you must achieve it because you have to put a commitment to yourself to be able to achieve it, and you have to believe that you will achieve it. So you believe that you have the capability, so I can. You believe that you have to have a commitment to achieve it, so I must. And you believe that you will actually achieve it, so you will. What is your go-to karaoke song? So that will be a classic by Kenny Rogers, Coward of the County. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Kiran Maani, CEO at Custody and Registrar Services Limited, C&R Group, a leading share registrar in East Africa with offices in Kenya and Uganda. So I have some questions here before me, and I'm going to read them and then answer them. First question, how do you stay innovative and keep up with the rapidly changing business landscape? I would just say keep reading, keep learning. Learning doesn't stop when you become an adult. Keep reading and keep talking to everyone, both your market and your employees, especially when there's a generational gap. For us, a lot of our staff are Gen Zs, so understand what appeals to them and how you can interact with them. So I would say keep learning, keep reading, and just keep trying. Everything doesn't work the first time, and sometimes you have to do iterations, but that's the most important thing. What's the most unexpected or surprising thing you've learned about yourself as a CEO? One of the things I would say there is that I'm an empath. I tend to be connected with how people are feeling. So the surprising thing that I've learned is that being able to make some very hard, tough decisions, which is necessary. And that's something I definitely had to do going up in management, becoming a CEO. You have to make the calls where they need to be, for the benefit of the company and your clients. So I've learned that I can do them, and I do them when necessary, but I try not to. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done outside of the business world? I would call myself a bit risk averse, which maybe is good for the industry that I'm in. But I actually did scuba diving. And that was actually fascinating. I remember once going down and there was almost nil visibility. You could just see slightly in front of you. And I had heard stories that this spot had a crocodile. So I wasn't very thrilled, but you also have to put trust in your scuba diving masters that they know what they're doing. But generally, it's just beautiful. It was just a beautiful world down there. So I think that's the most adventurous thing I've done, scuba diving. What's the most unique or memorable team building experience you've had with your employees? We had a team building activity once, and you had to get a ball on top of another ball. There were like 3 balls, and these balls were each huge and were only a certain height. And I remember thinking, how are we going to do this? And trying to look at it and, you know, trying to be the leader. And the team was organizing. And they did it. And I remember we ended up having an audience, because actually it was on a beach. So we ended up having an audience of people watching the team trying to do this. And I had to trust the team, not lead. I had to work with the team. And we actually did it. And I remember everyone applauded. And that's what I would say is, as much as you're a leader, you have to work with your team, you have to trust your team, and they will surprise you. You know, they did that and it was amazing. And it's a great team at C&R, and that for me is the memorable team building that I want to share with you. Thank you.
So, hi, my name is Zahir Saleh. I'm the Group CEO of Tanalek, and I have some questions to answer. Mm-hmm. So the first one goes like this. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done outside the world of business? Or the business world? Which one sounds better? The most adventurous thing. I remember during COVID when it was impossible to travel anywhere. I got to know that Turkey allows people regardless of the COVID situation. So I decided to visit Turkey with my family. And my daughter is very adventurous. So she insisted, Dad, we have to go for hot air balloon. It was a flight for about 45 minutes. I shook holding the rail. I think the balloon was shaking in the air until the time we returned. But I'm proud of myself, I did it. The next question goes like this. How do you stay innovative and keep up with the rapid changing business landscape? Very simple. Mm-hmm. I make sure every day I Google at least 2 things. During my tea break in the morning and during my tea break at 3 o'clock. This is a surefire formula. Try it and you'll see the difference. It works for me like magic. Every day as I have my tea, I take a few minutes instead of spending time on social media. I Google about, maybe in the morning when I was coming, I had something to do with, this is a breast cancer week. So I will say, okay, so what is breast cancer all about? And I will research. Believe me, it has really helped me to stay innovative and to understand what is happening in the world. Wow. This is quite interesting. If I could invite 3 people, whether they're living or dead, to a dinner party with my executive team, who would I choose? This is an interesting one. So the first one, maybe many people don't know this about me. I am a person who likes to read religious scriptures quite a lot. Mm-hmm. So obviously the first person I will invite would be Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him. Mm-hmm. This is a man, for those who do not read religious scriptures, can read a book written by, if I remember well, an author called Michael Hart. He's written about the 100 most influential people in history, and he's ranked Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him, as number 1. That is the main reason I want him to be with us. This is a man who was a family man. This is a man who was a military commander. This is a man who completely changed the society that other neighboring people would even never dare look at. Mm. So that is number 1 I will invite. The second one, he's a common man between the Muslim faith and the Christian faith. This will be Solomon. And it's not because of the concubines. No. It's because if I am to compare him to us at this moment, he was a very good CEO. Mm. He was almost running one of the largest corporates ever possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is the second man I will invite. And the last one would be Jack Welch. Yeah. He lived in our time. He was the CEO of General Electric. He ran a company that has employed the highest number of employees, managed a lot of mergers and acquisitions. Mm-hmm. It really fascinates me to try to understand how a person reasons and what drives him to be able to achieve so much in such a short lifespan. Yeah. Thank you.
The team has decided that I should also answer a few. So my name is Maina Chege. I am the host of the Trading Bell, and I will give them a shot. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received and who gave it to you? I have a common phrase that I say, if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. And who gave it to me? I remember I read it somewhere and it's stuck into my head. I don't remember the book, but that has been my phrase. If it's to be, it's up to me. And so for me, that embraces the fact that I am responsible for every outcome I see around me. Next question, if you were to write an autobiography, what would the title be? It's up to you. I think that should be the title. It's up to you. Because you manage your life, you manage your decisions, you manage everything else, so it's up to you. If you don't take yourself seriously, then life will deal with you. So it's up to you. I think that's a catchy one, right? Yeah. I hope you would buy. Now, if your company had a slogan or catchphrase, what would it be and why? We will make you be the brand. I think that should be it. If the company had a slogan or catchphrase, I think that should be it. Rephrased to, we make you be the brand. Because our work is to help people really communicate, speak about what they are all about and everything else. So we make them be the brand. And the brand just means there's no other competitor with them. I think that should be it. If you could swap places with any employee in your company for a day, what would it be and why? This is very interesting. And I think I would swap places with, should I mention the name? No, it's just anybody. I would swap places with the person who directly interacts with the client on the go. And the reason is because this is the heart of the matter, and this is the what really, I would call it bread and butter, because you miss the client, they don't want to talk to you again. You make them happy, they will forever want to remain there. And so the point of interaction for me is the most important place, and that's what I would swap the place to be. Should I give a note that these questions were chosen for me? I think that should have been. How do you foster positive company culture and encourage employee engagement within your organization? This is hard because I would wish they were the ones answering whether this has been fostered. But I think I try to encourage open conversations. I don't lock my office. It's actually very open. Anyone can walk to me. There's one I try to chase away every time. But anyone can walk to me and say anything that they want. So there's no booking of appointments or anything of that sort. You can come, speak. And I think when you open conversations with people and communications, people are able to express themselves and are free to do that. What's the most interesting or unusual tradition your company has? Free days. I mean, there are days when we have no work and people don't show up, or show up late, or show up at 11 because they were not told, or there was no assignment or anything of that sort. So I think it's a very unusual tradition, because some people, you call them and they say, we had nothing scheduled, and they forget they're supposed to report every day. And for you who is watching, the people who asked me to do this, they're actually laughing around here. Yeah. If you could trade places with any fictional CEO from a movie or TV show, what would it be and why? I think for me, it's one of the guys who I enjoy his movies is called Jason Statham. I think he's such an executioner, and I love things that are executed efficiently. You know, you watch his movie, you sit down. Wait, in fact, the latest one that I watched is The Beekeeper, an interesting one. And that's it. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.